Look across the American landscape today, in our neighborhoods, our cities, our nation, you'll see two distinct types of people. Not the successful or unsuccessful, not the rich or poor, but something far more fundamental: the grown ups and the given ups. Most people who consider themselves grown ups aren't actually grown ups at all. They are given ups, people who surrendered their dreams, settled for what they have, and stopped pursuing real growth in their lives. So let me take you back to a moment of my own revelation in my life when I was thinking about myself as a teenager, dreaming of dreams with Courtney and places we'd be, houses we'd live in, things we'd have, the vehicles we'd drive. I remember us being surrounded by voices telling us to be realistic. They say it's not about the fancy life, it's not about the cars, it's not about the mansions, it's not about the money. And how would we ever know those things unless we would never ever get those things unless we ever became a doctor or did something evil to get the riches. Growing up where I come from, people look at people that are rich and they think something about them, right? I don't know why it is. It's a poverty mindset, but it's just something that I had to deal with growing up. And some would even emphasize how immediate family should be more important than chasing your dreams. You should stay close to home. You shouldn't leave. You should stay by us. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. But here's what life actually taught me. When the lights get shut off, when there's no food in your fridge, and when times get tough, the same voices that told me not to dream too big couldn't put food on my table. They couldn't help me. And this experience revealed something profound about dreams and truth. We confuse contentment with surrender. We mistaken settling for spirituality, and we've replaced godly ambition with comfortable mediocrity. Dreams are more than thoughts or imagination. Dreams are fuel to your fire to keep you pursuing your full potential. The moment you give up on your dream is the moment you give up on your life. And you just become an older given up instead of an actual grown up. It's okay to dream of material items, but do not idle them. Use them as something to work towards. In order to possess the items, you have to accomplish something. So keep the dreams and visions in the forefront of your mind so you never stop growing and developing. In fact, the Apostle Paul understood the tension between dreams and reality when he wrote when he was in a prison cell. Hardly a place that you could probably ever imagine dreaming. How could you dream when you're locked up and you feel like life's probably over at this point? Especially back then, they'd cut your head off for doing certain things, right? But he declares in Philippians 3:13 through 14, "Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, but one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead. I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus." If you think about what I said a little bit ago, allow your dreams to be your fuel to your fire. If you think about fuel for a moment, when your car runs low on fuel, what happens? First, the warning light appears. Then the engine starts to sputter. Finally, it completely stops. And many of us living our lives with our dream fuel running dangerously low, we don't even ever realize how low it is. And God designed dreams to be on a high octane fuel that powers your purpose, that pushes you to move to be greater than what you currently are, that makes you have the vision of becoming more. And just as a high performance vehicle needs premium fuel to reach its full potential, you need God's given dreams to achieve it in its divine purposes. If you look at David, in 1 Samuel 17. Before he ever faced Goliath, he had already seen himself victorious. His brothers called it pride. The soldiers called it naive. But David understood something crucial. His dreams of victory wasn't just imagination. It was divine fuel for his divine purpose. And this is where many of us have been misled. We've been taught that dreaming of success is somehow unspiritual, that visualizing abundance is materialistic, that wanting more for yourself is selfish. But let me ask you something. If God didn't want you to have it, why did he let you dream of it? If success was ungodly, why does his word tell us that he takes pleasure in prosperity of his servant? And this is where our character and our dream make a connection. And this is where it gets a little interesting. Dreams without character are like fuel without an engine, explosive and dangerous. And this is why God often delays the fulfillment of your dreams, not because he's withholding from us, but because he's working within us. And if you consider Joseph's story, the dreams that came in Genesis 37, but the crown didn't come until Genesis 41. Why? It's because God was building his character to handle his calling between the dream and the fulfillment. And Joseph learned integrity in Potiphar's house, faithfulness when he was in the prisons, wisdom when he could interpret dreams, and leadership when he was managing all the resources in Egypt. Your character must be stronger than your dreams, or your dreams will destroy your character. Which leads me to my next point of management. Same thing, going to stick with the car scenario. Just as modern vehicle has a sophisticated fuel system, you need to have a system to manage your dream fuel. And here's how you're going to do that. First, you got to document your dreams. Dream documentation. It says in scriptures, write the vision and make it plain on tablets. Put it on paper where you can touch it. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Review it daily to keep your tank full. The second piece is dream development, because a dream without a development is just a fantasy. Don't write down your dreams. Write down also development plans so you can actually make that dream a reality. Third piece is character calibration. Proverbs 16:3 tells us, commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. And this means regular self-examination, consistent character development, and continuous skill improvement. None of us know it all. None of us are going to know it all, but you continue learning more. And the premium fuel principle is this. When you pull up to the gas station, you can see the different grades of fuel, the regular, the plus, the premium, right? And each one is designed for different types of engines. In fact, my car, I have to put premium in, right? Compared to, let's say, Sydney's minivan, he probably doesn't need to put premium in. I'm not picking on the minivan. I'm just saying. You don't got to spend the money on the premium. You can put the 87 in there, right? But our dreams work the same way as a high-performance engine. And not all dreams are created equal. Some dreams are regular. Some, they'll get you by. Some dreams are plus. They'll take you a little further. But God-given dreams, that's premium fuel. It's designed to power you beyond your natural capabilities. So stop filling your life with regular dreams when God designed you to run on premium purpose. This is where divine social intelligence becomes crucial. Just as a high-performance vehicle needs specific maintenance, your dream requires proper care. First, you develop what I call a stand-back ability. The capacity to step back and evaluate situations with godly wisdom rather than just reacting. In fact, Courtney's reading Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, and he talks about the reactive mind in there, right? We need to have the ability to stand back instead of just react. And this isn't just about being cautious. It's about being strategic with your dream fuel. If you consider Solomon, how he handled his first challenge as king in 1 Kings 3, he was faced with two women claiming the same baby. He didn't rush to his judgment and say, give it to that one. He stepped back, observed, and applied his God-given wisdom. He said, cut the baby in half and give each one half. And the mother said, no, please don't do that. And he said, that's the mother right there. Give the baby to her. And this is the same approach that we need to have in our business and our life. And this is where our fuel efficiency factor comes to play. We talk about this, it's pretty crucial. It's your dream efficiency. It's not just about having big dreams. It's about knowing how to steward them effectively. And this requires what I call the 3 C's of dream management. First is your clarity, right? Scripture says again, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarries, wait for it. What we learn from that is clear dreams create clear paths. Clear paths enable efficient progress. And efficient progress conserves dream fuel. The second C is consistency. Your dreams don't need to be perfect conditions. They need to be consistent attention. You need to water your dreams daily, even if the world's trying to plant doubt, right? The world's going to tell you not to do this. The world's going to say you're crazy. Your family's going to say you're nuts. Your mother might say you need to get a job. Yeah, you were having success then, but it doesn't work anymore. These are all doubts that you might get in your mind.
Your spouse might too.
Yeah, your spouse might too. Yeah, put that on. The third thing is community. This is where many of us misunderstand family. Real family, whether by blood or bond, are those who fuel your faith when doubt creeps in. They guard your dreams when opposition rises, and they speak truth when lies surround you. And I'll even add this one that I don't have in the notes, is they'll tell you the truth even when it hurts. You want people that are going to really drive you, push you, and be brutally honest with you. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of the enemy are deceitful. Our next piece, the performance upgrade process. Just as the high performance vehicle needs that regular upgrade, you got to keep the maintenance on there. You got to maybe tweak some things. Maybe you want to put a new air filter to get more air into this engine, right? Your capacity to be able to handle your dreams must be constantly expand. And this happens through character development, skill enhancement, and wisdom acquisition. When it comes to your character development, keep this in mind. Don't pray for bigger dreams until you've built bigger character. Because God's not going to give you a dream that your character can't handle.
Yeah.
When it comes to skill enhancement, do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. Proverbs 22:29. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. Excellence isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. Every skill mastered is an upgrade to your dream carrying capacity. The third piece, wisdom acquisition. Proverbs 4:7 tells us, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding. You have to be able to understand what's happening, or wisdom will not be able to work.
Right.
There's such thing as a wise fool. Someone that knows a lot, doesn't apply anything, doesn't even understand how to. The next piece in this is your dream protocol. And this is extremely crucial. Just as we went over the high performance vehicle, they also need protection systems, and your dreams need to be safeguarded. Before I go into my list of things on safeguarding them, keep something in your note in your mind. Be careful who you tell your dreams to. And the first part of this is the contentment confusion. Contentment isn't about settling for less. It's about being peaceful while pursuing more. Don't confuse contentment with compromise. The second piece is the control trap. Many people park their dreams in the garage of comfort, thinking they're building something or they're being responsible, or they're building something that's responsible. But really, they're just in the garage of comfort, because their comfort zones are a beautiful place where nothing grows. Security can become a subtle form of surrender, and stability without progression is just stagnation. And the third piece is the comparison crisis. 2 Corinthians 10:12. Not that we dare to classify or compare ourselves with some of those who are commending themselves. Meaning, your dreams aren't meant to be compared. They're meant to be pursued. And when you start comparing your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20, you'll be tempted to edit your dream down to match your current reality.
Yeah.
Which leads into my next part of maintenance. We did the upgrades, now we got to maintain, right? Just again, as those vehicles require regular maintenance, your dreams are going to need consistent attention. And if we look in, I might pronounce this wrong, I don't know why it's on the tip of my tongue, but Nehemiah 13, after rebuilding the wall, Nehemiah had to return to Jerusalem because the people had fallen back into their old patterns. But the question is, why did they fall back into old patterns? It's because they neglected to maintenance their miracle. A dream achieved without maintenance becomes a memory.
That's right.
A dream maintained becomes a legacy. So consider your dream maintenance schedule like this. Daily inspections with Psalms 139:23. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Check your motivations. Examine your character. Calibrate your actual compass in the direction in which way you're headed.
Yep.
Have weekly alignments. Hebrews 10:24-25. And let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together. Connect with dream supporters. Share wisdom with others and realign with divine purpose.
It's important to check in with yourself and your growth because, I mean, think of somebody that's on a diet and working out. I mean, they're going to go on the scale and see how much weight they lost, right? They're not just going to continue eating and not seeing, like, how much weight I have lost. They want to make sure that they are maintaining their weight and doing everything acceptable to losing the weight that they have at the current time.
Yep. So this is where the next part comes in, monthly diagnostics. Your dreams need a regular diagnostic. What worked last season might need upgrading to get to the next level. And with every new level, there are new devils. I'm sure you've all heard that one. So you need to upgrade. Your faith you had before isn't the same faith you're going to have now or need now, which is why in Hebrews it says, now faith. The elders obtained a good report. Now faith. Not what they had before, not when they were in the exile, not when they were coming out of Egypt, not when they made it to the promised land. It's the now faith that they need right now. And this leads us into the performance enhancement zone. Let's talk about something that many spiritual people avoid, the pursuit of excellence. Some have been taught that desiring improvement somehow shows lack of contentment. But consider this, Jesus himself said, be perfect just as your Father in heaven is perfect, Matthew 5:48. Excellence isn't about pride, it's about stewardship. When you maximize your potential, you honor the God who gave it to you. And this requires the 3 E's of excellence: evaluation, enhancement, and execution. When you know where you are honestly, you see what David asked, search me, O God, because he understood that accurate evaluation needs to be authentic evaluation. Enhancement. Proverbs 4:18 tells us, but the path of the just is like the shining sun that shines ever brighter unto the perfect day. Consistently upgrading your skills, regularly expanding your knowledge, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching old seminars, pulling out the old tapes, putting on the old Jim Rohn, the old Bob Proctor, God rest their souls, reading the Napoleon Hills, the John Maxwell's, reading all these things.
And read your Bible. Read the whole thing.
Yeah, read your Bible. Everything's in there. Continuously develop your character and execute. Dreams without execution are just wishes. Plans without action are just good intentions written on tomorrow's tombstone.
Say that one more time.
Dreams without execution are just wishes. Plans without action are just good intentions written on tomorrow's tombstone. The strategic acceleration phase is where many dream carriers get stuck. They have the vision, they've developed the character, but they don't know how to accelerate their lives. This is where we go in the biblical pattern of acceleration. Divine timing recognition. We find it in Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. We have to learn to recognize divine moments in our lives. We have to prepare for the opportunities that are going to come. It's better to be prepared for when something comes than it come and you be unprepared. And move when God says to move. And the second piece, strategic partnership development. Not everyone who supports your dream should be in your inner circle. Remember I said earlier, pay close attention to who you tell your dreams to, because they'll be the same people that tear you down, knock you down, and try to get you not to chase them.
Yes.
Some people are meant for a season, while others for a duration. Remember how David had mighty men for battles, advisors for strategies, friends for support, each serving different purposes in his dreams and journeys? You remember the same people that he had with him was the same people that wanted to kill him and stone him?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the third piece is your resource management mastery. 1 Corinthians 4:2. Moreover, it is required in stewards that one be found faithful. This means that managing your time like it's fuel for your dreams, treating your relationships like investments in your future, and using your resources as tools for kingdom advancement. When you understand dreams from God's perspective, something profound will happen to you. You'll realize that kingdom dreams operate differently than worldly ambitions. They follow what I call the divine multiplication principle. We know God's math. Be fruitful and multiply. When God gives you a dream, he's not just thinking about your success, he's thinking about your kingdom impact. Your dream is meant to be fuel for someone else's fire. We're here to serve. If you consider how this worked in Scripture, Joseph's dream wasn't about him ruling. It was about saving nations. Moses' calling wasn't about his freedom. He was already out in the wilderness. It was about revealing God's power to get his people out of slavery. David's kingship wasn't just about Israel. It was about establishing a lineage for the Messiah. And this is why maintenance of our dreams is so crucial. Because you're not just maintaining a personal vision, you're stewarding a piece of God's kingdom strategy. Now, let me show you something powerful about how God actually operates. When you align your dreams with his purpose, you tap into what I call supernatural synergy. This is where your business acumen meets divine wisdom. Your natural talents meet supernatural gifting. And your earthly resources meet heavenly provisions. God doesn't just want you to bless your dreams, he also wants you to multiply in their impacts. But multiplication requires multiplication-worthy character. And this is why your character development is non-negotiable. I keep hitting on character because it's so important.
Yeah.
Consider these essential elements. Number one, obviously, integrity and having integrity under pressure. Proverbs 11:3, the integrity of the upright will guide them. When deals are difficult, keep your integrity. When shortcuts seem justified, keep your integrity. And when compromise looks profitable, keep your integrity.
Mm.
Second piece, excellence beyond observation. Excellence isn't about who's watching it, it's about who's representing. And your work ethic is your witness. And your wisdom is in your relationships. Proverbs 13:20. He who walks with wise men will be wise. So choose your inner circle carefully. Value wisdom over status. And prioritize character over charisma.
Yes. Yes. I was happy you hit that because I was going to say that.
This is another reason why with our coaching program, I don't want everybody to join. There's already been people where I say I don't want them to join, I don't let them join. People I've known for a while that are doing business, and I personally would never offer my services to them because we don't align. And I don't want to bring people in a circle to poison the circle. I'd rather keep it small and slowly grow over time with good people.
Yeah.
And next piece is the moment of decision. The truth about dreams is it isn't what they reveal what you want, they reveal who you are. And more importantly, they reveal who you are becoming. And when you look in a mirror tonight, you'll see one of two people, a grown up or a given up. And the difference isn't in the circumstances, it's in your choices. Most people are living stories of accomplished dreams. They're living actual sequences of events that just happen to them over a long period of time.
Yes.
But God is calling you to write a different story.
Yeah.
And we can look at 4 things where we can take action on immediately. First, we need to reclaim your dream fuel. Take out a piece of paper, not your phone, not your computer. Write these down, write your dreams down, push them aside. Those visions that were made your heart race before you told anybody, before you even knew they would be realistic, those ideas you had, write it down. Because written dreams become real destinations. My favorite mentor of all time, Jim Rohn, always says, keep a journal. He says, one day I was sitting on an airplane and I was looking out the window and I was like, wow, this is amazing, right? 200 years ago, they didn't have this view, right? And he's journaling how beautiful the earth is. And he's journaling all these great ideas he's getting. And he says, I don't journal these just for myself. I journal these for my grandchildren,
Yes.
for my children. So one day they can go back and look at my journaling and learn something.
Because that's what it's all about. That's why we're supposed to multiply. It's not for us necessarily, right? Like we benefit from it, but we do this for our our children, our grandchildren, and go on. That's the reason why we work so hard and why we install and why we I don't want to say grind, but we work so hard to make these things come
For your
to life.
legacy.
Yeah.
The second piece is to restructure your relationships. Look around your life. Who's feeding your dreams? Who's draining them? And remember that real family isn't just about blood, it's about who believes in your God given potentials. Some of you need to expand your definition of family to include those who fuel your faith, even as you lovingly create boundaries with those who feed your fears. I don't mean cut off the people that have been there for you your whole entire life. Maybe they just cannot serve you at your next level and they don't want your service to take them to theirs. But you just build that healthy boundary and still love them. Don't cut them off, but just love them.
Just be mindful of what conversations you want to have with certain people, right? Like you have to make sure, like there's some people where, you can talk about business, but they don't want to hear about anything else. And there's some family members that, they don't want to hear about the business. So, when you're having a conversation, just leave the business part out because they're not there to fuel that. They're not there to really put enlightenment in that. So you just have to know what you can talk about with the people that you're talking with.
Absolutely. And the third piece, rebuild your character capacity. Your dreams aren't waiting for better circumstances, they're waiting for stronger character.
Hmm.
So start today by developing your integrity, your excellence, and your wisdom that your next level requires. And the fourth piece, reconnect with your divine purpose. Your dreams aren't just about accumulation, they're about impact. They're not just about what you'll have, but actually about who you're going to help, what you're going to build, and what legacy you're going to leave. The world doesn't need more giving ups. We need more grown ups. It doesn't need more people who've traded their dreams for comfort, their vision for security, their purpose for predictability.
Hmm.
Dreams don't have expiration dates, but opportunities do. And every day you choose comfort over character, uh, security over surrender, and ease over excellence is the day you choose to be a given up instead of a grown up.
Yeah. I like to even see it as in like I'm never going to completely grow up because every single season is my grow up. Like I want to grow up this season. I want to grow up next season. I want to continue growing into the person I need to be every season of my life or whatever the Lord has for me in that season.
Yeah. So you're facing a decision right now that's bigger than any business choice you're ever going to make in your entire life. It's not just about what you're going to achieve, but it's about who you're going to become. Will you be the person who continues to grow, who refuses to give up, who pursues God's dreams with persistence and character, or will you join the ranks of the given ups, those who trade their divine potential for temporary comfort? And the choice is yours, but remember this, dreams aren't just dreams. They are actually divine fuel planted by God to propel you toward your purpose. And when you protect them and pursue them and build the character to support them, you're not just working towards success, you are actually partnering with God in transformation. The world is waiting for grown-ups who haven't given up. The only question is, will you be one of them? And I hope this message blesses you, and I pray that you keep it with you and you go back and watch it later again on YouTube. And for those of you that are going to be watching this later, always remember to stay blessed by the best. Keep on pushing, keep pursuing, don't give up. You don't want to be a given up. You don't want to be part of the 95. You want to be part of the 5% that continue pushing forward to keep on being bigger and living a better life for yourself, for your family, for your legacy, for your grandchildren, and all the generations on before. And as always, check the links down in the bio. We got an ebook out, and we also got the Master Market Challenge coming up February 17th to the 21st. If you're in real estate, you need to be there or be square. Other than that, I'm breaking off into the Q&A with the people that are here live with us. Take care.